I'm Merely Caruso. It's Monday, June 23rd. Today, cooling down.
This has been a moment where we've really seen the best of our province shining through.
Manitoba lifts its wildfire state of emergency. What happens now? Also today, a big step forward.
It's a really exciting day for our community.
How a downtown street will soon be a pedestrian playground. And a pet project.
It's been pretty stressful being in a hotel with him for so long.
How one local organization is helping fire evacuees get their pets home safely. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. After 27 days, Manitoba is no longer under a wildfire-related state of emergency.
As things have been getting safer and as normal government channels have allowed us to deliver the services, we've come to a place where we can remove the state of emergency and just respect the freedoms and normal course of business that our society should always operate under.
Premier Wapkanu said while the emergency rules are no longer needed, the situation remains serious. States of emergency permit law changes and freedom restrictions to allow various levels of government to work quickly in a disaster. Canoe says the decision was made in part because the danger had receded and many evacuees are heading home. About 9,000 of the 21,000 forced out have been allowed to return home, and that number is expected to climb as more head home in the coming days, particularly in Flin Flon.
And so, we are getting a lot of calls from folks that are concerned that they're still seeing active fire, and that is okay. These are very large fires. We do have staff on the ground who are responding to any potential issues or risks to the community.
There were 23 active wildfires in Manitoba as of Sunday. 7 are out of control. More than 909,000 hectares have burned, an area roughly 20 times the size of Winnipeg. A section of downtown street will soon be a pedestrian corridor. Today we learned new details about a pilot project for Graham Avenue between Carleton and Gary Streets. This 4-block section is currently restricted to buses and bikes, but that's about to change. Joining us now on Graham Avenue to explain is CTV's Taylor Brock. Taylor, what will the street you're on look like?
Well, Marilee, the bench that's popped up behind me is on Graham.
On Sunday, the buses will move off of Graham Avenue. And in just 3 weeks after that, we will completely transform this stretch of Graham.
Officials with the city, Downtown Biz and Centre Venture are painting a picture of what we'll see, including art installations, artistic lighting, and street murals. You'll be able to sit in the shade on the custom-built street furniture like you saw just behind me, and also be on the lookout for things like planters, picnic tables, and even ping pong tables. More art and activities will pop up along the street throughout the summer here, designed to transform downtown into something more than just a place to go to work.
Together, we're adding features that invite folks to play and enjoy the space. Maybe not what you always think about when you come downtown.
What we're starting on Graham Avenue will mark a turning point in how we envision, use, and experience our downtown.
Winnipeg's new transit network is set to launch this Sunday. Now, what we know is that along here on Graham Avenue, buses are going to no longer travel along here, but we are still going to expect bus service in between Gary and Main Street, although the actual routes that are being serviced are expected to change for us here, Marilee.
All right, speaking of buses, Taylor, how will all of these changes affect downtown vehicle traffic?
Yeah, that's actually a little why we moved here, because Graham Avenue between Vaughan and Carleton will remain mostly the same. The cars are going to be allowed to move down this stretch. There is a lower speed limit, though, so that cars can still access things like businesses, homes, parking lots, while still being pedestrian friendly. And coming up here at CTV News at 6 o'clock, CTV's Jeff Hill is going to have more on the reaction to here on Graham Avenue, as well as the reopening of the well-known intersection Portage and Main.
All right, looking forward to it. Thanks, Taylor. Mounties continue to appeal for information about a vehicle spotted leaving the community of Victoria Beach shortly after a double homicide Friday. RCMP say a white truck was seen driving quickly south on Highway 59 following the shooting, which happened at around 2 a.m. and killed 2 people. The bodies of a 29-year-old man and 41-year-old woman were found at a property in the community some 115 kilometers northeast of Winnipeg. Investigators from multiple agencies are still at the scene. They've spoken with several people, including the property owner. Anyone with information is asked to contact Powerview RCMP or Crime Stoppers. RCMP believe the incident was a targeted attack and the risk to public safety is low. And a manhunt is underway after an inmate escaped from prison. An arrest warrant has been issued for 41-year-old Jason Van Wyck. He's currently serving a sentence of just over 2 years for break-and-enter and assault. Correctional Service Canada says staff at Stony Mountain Institution realized he was missing this morning. Van Wyck is described as 6 feet tall and weighs about 240 pounds. Anyone who has information is asked to contact RCMP. Smart water meters are on their way for the city of Winnipeg, and now the Public Service is recommending against an opt-out option. The technology allows meters to be read remotely from a central location using radio transmitters. In its report, the Public Service says offering an opt-out program tends to result in very low uptake, and it would cost about $250,000 annually to maintain the old system. So instead, it suggests rolling out a public awareness campaign on the safety of the transmitters and giving customers the option to have the antennas installed outside their homes at their own expense. The report goes before councillors Friday. Smart water meters are on their way for the city of Winnipeg, and now the Public Service we'll skip over to the next story. Actually, we just read that one. Apologize for having a bit of technical difficulties here. Voters in Elmwood, East Kildonan will be heading to the polls for a by-election on October 25th. It comes after the sudden death of Jason Schreier, who died suddenly in April. Schreier was the son of former Premier Ed Schreier and was first elected to City Council in 2014. At last check, there were no registered candidates listed on the city's website. Residents will also vote for 2 trustees in the Louis Riel and Pembina Trails school divisions. A vacant home in St. James was torn down Saturday after catching fire hours earlier. Firefighters battled the flames at this Douglas Park Road home starting around 3 in the morning. The city says crews used aerial ladders and hand lines to get the fire under control. The damage was significant and an emergency demolition happened later in the day. No injuries were reported, and the cause of fire, I should say, is being investigated. As some Manitoba wildfire evacuees head home, the Winnipeg Humane Society is helping make sure their furry family members have the supplies they need.
It's been pretty stressful being in a hotel with him for so long because there's no backyard and he's away from home.
Haley Fitzpatrick and her now 12-week-old puppy were evacuated from Flin Flon to Winnipeg. Today she searched through a pop-up supply giveaway at the Winnipeg Humane Society for items he'll need when they finally return home. She was one of more than 40 evacuees who picked up toys, litter, collars and leashes, as well as food for their pets.
That, you know, pet food might not be top of mind, it's people food and that kind of thing. So we're hoping that we can supply them with a few days, few weeks worth of stuff while they get their lives back together.
The supplies were donated to the Humane Society by the public. Free vaccinations were also available for evacuees at the pop-up shelter in St. Norbert today. A longtime martial arts instructor is giving back to the community with the help of his family and friends.
I think these people need help. You know, I know what it means to be hungry. I surely do. And if we can help them, we're going to help them.
Keith Saunders is the master instructor at Saunders Taekwondo Academy. He says he spent decades feeding unsheltered people in the city. Saunders and his team gathered outside Silo Mission Sunday with enough food to serve 200 people. He said this is his way of comforting those in need, and his message is simple: look out for one another.
Don't be afraid to come and you know, give, because these are human beings. These are our family, you know. These are our people. This is our country. You know, we have to help each other.
Sunday's meal marked the 125th time Saunders has hit the streets to spread his message of hope. Let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. We could see how windy it was outside with Taylor on Graham Avenue. What are you tracking tonight?
Those winds are going to back right off, but after a weekend that was smoky Saturday, soggy Sunday, it was cool on Monday, not just here in Winnipeg, but really across the province. And you can see just how fast these arrows continue to travel across your screen. Those are those west winds. So yeah, it's still a little windy out there for Taylor, but the winds will ease up tonight and the temperatures will warm up starting tomorrow. More on that coming up. Let's take a look right now, though, first through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, mostly cloudy, 16 degrees, still pretty windy with those winds coming out of the northwest. The pressure is rising and the humidity is 64%. Out in traffic on this Monday afternoon, busy along Keniston Boulevard, making that turn onto Abinogi-Mikana. One spot to let you know about, southbound Dunkirk, just as you approach one of those two turning lanes onto Fermor, that's where you're going to find a stalled vehicle.
A deadly tornado rips through a community just south of the Manitoba border and kills 3 people. More on what happened after the break.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
At least 3 people were killed when a tornado touched down in North Dakota Friday. The Cass County Sheriff's Office says 2 of the victims were found by storm chasers inside a damaged home near Enderlin. Fire officials say a 3rd victim was found at another location. The fire department says at least 10 homes were destroyed. Enderlin is about 80 kilometers southwest of Fargo. The city would end up paying millions of dollars more by taking over yard waste collection. That's according to the Public Service, which pegs the cost of citywide in-house collection at $38.8 million over 7 years. That's roughly $9 million more than a contracted service. Last year, a similar study found it would be cheaper for the city to continue contracting out garbage, recycling, and yard waste. Councillors then asked the Public Service to study only yard waste collection. More than 350 athletes hit fields, pools, and courts in Winnipeg over the weekend for Special Olympics Manitoba's Provincial Summer Games. This was the first summer game since 2017. On Saturday, athletes took over the University of Manitoba Stadium for an afternoon of track and field. At other venues around the city, athletes competed in sports like golf, soccer, swimming, and rhythmic gymnastics during the 3-day event.
So many athletes tell us that this is the absolute pinnacle of their years, of their 4-year cycle. They participate in programs year-round across the province, and so for them to have an event like this, where they've got their family and friends cheering them on, the public cheering them on, truly, all I keep hearing this weekend is just that the energy is up and everyone is so happy and joyful to be here.
Athletes were also competing for a chance to represent Manitoba at the 2026 Special Olympics Canada Summer Games. Those are happening next summer in Medicine Hat, Alberta. Well, put on your cowboy hats and blue jeans and get into your pickup truck. Dauphin Country Fest is set to start this weekend. Why it may be the last time you get to see one country music star, coming up in Spotlight. The first business to open on the 109 acres owned by the 7 Treaty 1 nations will soon be open to the public.
This is going to create much needed revenue for our nations. It's also going to create jobs and careers and opportunities that have never been seen in Manitoba, never been seen in Canada at all.
Today we got a sneak peek inside Odena Gas and Convenience on Taylor Avenue. The business will be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. According to Treaty 1 nations, this is one of the largest First Nation-led economic development projects in Canadian history. The gas station will employ 25 people, 24 of whom are First Nations members.
It's a catalyst for more development, but also it's a symbol of hope for our people, a symbol of progress. So it's a positive development for our people that we can be very proud about.
Odena Gas and Convenience is celebrating with a grand opening this Friday, and doors will be open to the public a week from today on June 30th.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Brett Kissel.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and they are getting ready for a big party this weekend in Dauphin.
Oh, they sure are. Dauphin's Country Fest is Canada's longest running country music festival, and it all gets underway Thursday.
She thinks I could roll.
It's probably the last time you get to see this guy, though. That's John Michael Montgomery, Sunday's headliner. The country star has announced he's retiring from touring at the end of this year. Also on the list, Josh Ross. He's the headliner on Friday. Country Fest runs from June 26th to the 29th at Selo, Ukraine, located on the northern edge of Riding Mountain National Park. Other artists include Jordan Davis, Cord Lund, Mark Chestnut, and Dina Carter. For more information and tickets, go to countryfest.ca.
All right, Colleen, here's a question for you. When was the last time you listened to an entire album?
I couldn't tell you, but classic albums
that
live.
kind of time?
I mean, who knows? I have. It's been a minute or two.
When we were young and free.
That's right.
Lots of free time.
Many, many moons ago, merrily. But now, the album. Well, the opportunity to earn or to listen to classic albums live, I'm all tongue-tied now, takes the greatest classic rock albums and recreates them live on stage, note for note, cut for cut. A-list musicians will take to the stage at Centennial Concert Hall on October 22nd. They'll play Pink Floyd's The Wall in its entirety. The album was released in December 1979. It became the #1 selling album of the 70s. General tickets went on sale Wednesday at CentennialConcertHall.com.
I have a feeling that'll be very popular.
I did see that album played in its entirety many moons ago.
I think I listened to it a couple times myself.
We digress.
All right, there is a unique art exhibition on display at Portage Place right now.
That's right. It features works created by individuals in Victoria Hospital's outpatient mental health services program.
It was just a great experience for, community care.
Earlier this month, participants took part in Art in the Garden at Victoria Hospital's Miracle Garden. The event is a collaboration between the foundation and Artbeat Studio and is designed to foster creativity and healing through artistic expression.
Art is an amazing way to participate, socialize, heal, do something with your hands, and we find that it's a great activity for the mental health patients to do at our hospital.
Art in the Garden was created by Tracy Stoppel, whose mother lived with schizophrenia and found comfort in art. The artwork will be on display at Studio Central in Portage Place through July 6th.
Well, rain showers and thunderstorms did not dampen local Indigenous Peoples Day celebrations.
Not at all. Events yesterday in Assiniboine Park were unstoppable. Assiniboine Park Conservancy had to move their events and activities indoors on Sunday, but that did not stop people from watching powwows and learning how to bead. Park staff say it is important to honor Indigenous Peoples Day to better understand our history and how to move forward. Up next for the Park Canada Day celebrations.
We're really encouraging people to come see our free music entertainment, our wellness programming, our movies, all free here at the park all summer long.
You can find event details on upcoming events at the park online.
Yeah, Canada Day long weekend right around the corner.
Can't believe it, just like that.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. We'll beat those Monday blues. It's Monday, not midday. Monday blues with American Ninja Warrior at 7, followed by Yes Chef at 9, then wrap up the night with E-Talk at 10:30. It's all right here on CTV. A live look into busy Osborne Village traffic moving smoothly. There, 16 degrees, cloudy and windy. I will have your full week forecast coming right up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon. CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, these strong west and northwest winds just racing across southwestern Manitoba, they're going to ease up in a couple of hours. Up north, there's been some rain today in wildfire-affected areas, including Flin Flon. There is forecast to be a bit more come through tonight. I don't know if it will be a lot, but it will be something. But there really is no risk of thunderstorms, so that is good news there. Now, I want to show you this. This is a look at the current temperatures. Yeah, welcome to June, folks. Late June, no less. We should be hitting highs this hour closer to the mid-20s. mid-20s, so well below normal here in the south. Single digits in parts of the north right now. We have that rain moving through a good swath of the province, so there is the outside chance we could get clipped by a shower yet this evening here in Winnipeg. But once we get beyond that, we clear out overnight for the most part. Fog is quite likely around much of the province, including in the city. A little bit of rain pops over the border there in the southwest overnight and races pretty quickly across the province. Again, throughout the day tomorrow, really not expecting much in the way of any shower activity in Winnipeg and the surrounding areas. Can't rule it out entirely, but it will be a lot warmer. Those temperatures will be back up to normal tomorrow in the mid-20s. Overnight, pretty clear, taking us into Wednesday, where temperatures again will stay pretty warm, closer to where they ought to be for late June. You can see pretty benign weather for the top 2/3 of the province, a little cloudier down in the south, but no serious weather of note. Tonight we drop all the way down to 8 degrees with that chance of showers early this evening. The winds diminish significantly. 25 is our high tomorrow with a thunderstorm risk in the afternoon. Winds out of the south at 15 kilometers an hour. And Tuesday's UV index for the city is 7 or high. Into the long range we go. Mix of sun and cloud on Wednesday and Thursday, 23 and 25 degrees those 2 days. Up to a 27 on Friday, warming up 29 on Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud. There is the possibility of showers on Sunday. Otherwise, again, another day with a mix of sun and cloud and a high of 26. Now, Fort Frances had some wicked weather over the weekend, and Katie took that photo of the sky just lighting up with that lightning there. That's in Fort Frances. And isn't this cute? I thought this was very nice. This is up in Bunds Creek in the north part of Winnipeg. That photo is from Victor. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
I feel like we're interrupting a private moment there. Great picture, though. All right, finally today we are going to introduce you to 2 adorable new additions to Assiniboine Park. Meet Navy, oh my goodness, speaking of cute, and Cobalt. They are a couple of baby reindeer who were born this spring at the zoo. Navy was born May 1st to Mother Lucy, and Cobalt was born May 27th to Mother Whitney. Now, according to a Facebook post from the zoo, the babies are getting more comfortable with their surroundings, enjoying the sunshine and exploring their field. You may see Navy and Cobalt in the Journey to Churchill exhibit on your next visit to the zoo. They are cute.
Oh, great names, too.
Another attraction to see at the zoo. All right, that does it for us this hour, but don't go far. We will be back at 6 o'clock with much more local news. Hope to see you then.